All in Sports Network. We love sports.
It is Wednesday, July 23rd, and this is your daily fix for all things Texas Longhorns. I'm Tanner Carlson. That is Jake Jimerson, and this is All In Horns presented to you by Rogue Sports Network. Today's episode, we're just going to have fun with it. You know, college football's top mascots. That's the episode. We might just go down a list. We just might name some dudes, just guys naming dudes, guys naming mascots. That's all this episode's going to be. And we'll go through as to maybe why we like them, or we just might be naming stuff off. Who knows where this episode's going to go? We don't have a big plan for this episode. We just said, let's do a mascot episode. And we both looked at each other and were like, yeah, that sounds good to us. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Obviously 1-1, if this is a draft, Jake, this is Bevo Longhorn. Bevo's number one, right? I mean,
yeah, the podcast is All In Horns. So yeah, the horns are first.
So let's also speak, but on a serious note, though, it is a unique mascot, and it is one of the most recognizable brands in sports, not just college sports, but the Longhorn is a very...
And Bevo himself.
You know what? I was watching the Scottish Open the other weekend on Thursday, and in the crowd was some lady wearing a Longhorn hat.
No, it's a worldwide brand, and it is one of everyone's going to have their bias, obviously, and there are brands or mascots that obviously will compete with the level of popularity with Bevo and the Longhorns, but it is a top tier mascot, I think, undoubtedly, regardless of bias. But on this podcast, it's number one, and nothing else touches it.
What's more popular, the logo or the mascot?
The helmets have a lot of weight to them, especially since they don't do alternates. So it's probably the helmets. But then I think Bevo is too. I mean,
Bevo's up there, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I also have higher stock in live mascots. I love a live mascot.
Yeah, that's fair. I like it too, just because you get those moments like Bevo, about to stomp Uga. There was a game my uncle went to back in 2005, where Bevo and the Baylor Bear that was out there started to kind of go back and forth.
Wait,
and
they have a real bear, don't they?
I don't know if they still do it, but they did back then.
Yeah.
And I know Bevo was like revving up for it, and they had to kind of get it under control. And so you get
Bevo
moments
don't
like
take
that.
No shit from nobody.
No. And again, the fact that they couldn't bring him to Atlanta in either of those games last year was a tragedy. And you could argue it's the reason why they struggled in those games.
It was a big reason. I will say that much. It had nothing to do with playing against Georgia. I can tell you that. All right.
Arizona State, they struggled. I mean,
yeah. Other ones, Jay, like I said, I'm a sucker for the live mascots. I like Mike the Tiger. They bring him around. They put him on floats for Mardi Gras. He's just a cool dude. Seems like a pretty chill tiger. As far as tigers go, I think he's the top tiger.
Yeah, I mean, I think about Omaha this year and the tiger that was getting towed around the city of Omaha, the gigantic tiger. The LSU fan base also just makes. I mean, Death Valley is on the first year Texas goes to Death Valley. I don't care if I have to mortgage my house again or what I have to do. I will be at that game because Death Valley has just been. I was ready to go.
It's been
for 2020.
Yeah.
And then the game got canceled because of COVID. So that game is that game will be
air conditioners.
that was the game at Texas. Air conditioners went out. You go. So I'll go with some of the more outside the box. Obviously, also dating back to Omaha. I'm gonna go ahead and put my Chanticleers in there. Chauncey the Chanticleer from Coastal Carolina. I just think the helmets. I think the way they market it as far as how they use the logos for their uniforms, for their helmets, the different logos they have for it.
I
They
think
do a great job with it.
color scheme has a lot to do with mascots, Jake.
Yeah, the color scheme of it. Also, it was really cool when I was there at a baseball game there, seeing the statue of him out there. And it's just a unique one. Even though it's it's still like a bird type, which I have a couple other bird type mascots that I added on here. It's just one that's always stood out to me from that first year from when they got on the map from baseball, and then when they really started to get on the map from that football season they had. I've just always thought it's a cool one.
Chauncey. I was just thinking Chauncey Billups. Sorry, that's just the only Mr. Big Shot. Jake, one that I've always UAB. I've always thought the Dragons, the Blazers, were like a super cool mascot. Even whenever I was a kid playing NCAA, like 04, I would play with the Blazers just because they had a dragon on their helmet and no other reason whatsoever. Like, they're the Dragons, and you have Blaze the dragon. I mean, that's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Blaze. Do
you like dragons?
I love dragons. Let's see where you go with this one.
Dragon D's.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to go further for the kid friendly crowd. You were tossing that up to me. I couldn't.
Yeah, no,
I couldn't. But it is sick.
The moment you said dragon, I was like, yeah, I see. I knew where this was going.
Yeah, I heard you're a big Imagine Dragons fan as well.
I imagine dragons all the time.
But no, they've come out with some really badass uniforms in the last years. They're one that I always look to play on the new college football games with their different uniforms and options.
Season with them last year.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a season, a dynasty. You and I here soon from that same conference. I wouldn't be surprised if you pick them.
Yeah, since I picked them on my, not in our dynasty, but in my own dynasty last year.
They're on my list to try out.
I like mascots, Jake, that you can do a uniform with, or that they've included in the uniform scheme. We saw it with Oregon. Obviously, the Oregon Duck, all the ESPN commercials, and just the popularity of the Oregon Duck coming in on the motorcycle. I looked up his name. It's the Oregon Duck.
I didn't know that.
That's his name. He is the Oregon Duck is the mascot.
I do like that. And I do wish they wore the helmets and the uniforms that incorporate the duck more. Those are my favorites from them. They have all these. I don't like the ones that look like an Aztec design because it looks like they're trying to be San Diego State. Yeah. The O is fine. That's a classic one for them. But I love the ones that have the duck on them. They're such cool uniforms.
Did you see the ones Oregon did? I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, where they had the orange face mask, the orange socks, and orange cleats with the green tops and the white pants. Like they were actually ducks. That was sick.
No, I like when they do the fun stuff that incorporates the duck. Those are my favorite uniforms that they do. Anytime I play them on the video game, that's what I'm choosing to use. So I'm going to keep kind of going with some more odd ones, if you will. I added it to the list today. Another kind of bird. But a new edition. I stuck with just kind of the FBS, because if we went into D, and believe me, we could, to D3, D2, D1 FCS, this episode would go on for 40 minutes, if not more.
Yeah.
But the Delaware, the UD Fighting Blue Hen, his name is UD. And it's spelled capital Y, lowercase o, capital U, capital D, lowercase e. And as the Fighting Blue Hen, they had the kind of Michigan Wolverine helmets, which is kind of the weird thing.
Different color scheme.
Where they have the logo presented and stuff, I think it's a really cool one. I've already played them on College Football 26, and that was kind of fun as well.
You know what they should do? Michigan has to schedule them.
Oh, that I need to see that. I mean, Michigan, it won't be a good game, but
no, I don't care about the game itself. I care about the uniform matchup and the uniform matchup alone.
I feel like a quarterback will throw a pick just by pure confusion.
You almost have to, right? Like you almost have to, and it would just look great. And then the guy who intercepts it, the secondary guy, actually just runs the wrong way, and he goes into the wrong end zone, and every team is confused. They're like, we don't know what we're doing at this point. Obviously you got UGA and like USC. They obviously have like classic you're I didn't add Florida State on our list, but the Indian dude with the spear and stuff, and then USC kind of does the same thing with the with the sword and the midfield and stuff. Like those guys are cool and stuff, but I do like the unique ones, Jake. I again live mascots, Ralphie the Buffalo for the Colorado Buffaloes. They run the real life buffalo out there on the field, Ralphie. Sometimes you get the buffalo handlers tripping over their feet, and then the buffalo's just dragging them across the field. That's always a fun sight to see. I feel like that happens at least maybe once a year, so that's always cool.
Yeah, by the way, there's a name on this list I'm waiting for you to bring up so I can trash you, and I know you know who it is, but one of my favorites, and you put this on the list, but I'm stealing it because I love it, and you got to add stuff before me. ECU, the Pirates. Yeah. Their baseball environment was insane when Texas played there a few years ago in the Super Regional, and they have some of the coolest helmets.
First time I ever knew about the Pirates in ECU was Chris Johnson.
Yeah. Also, if you remember, Dwayne Harris played there. The Cowboys return man and wide receiver for a long time. He came from ECU, and they do such a good job with that purple as well.
It's a beautiful purple, isn't it? A great perfect.
Oh, the chrome purple helmets with the big pirate logo. Yeah. Oh, it's some of the best helmets in football.
Honestly, shocked Mike Leach never coached there, to be honest with you. I feel like that's something he would have just done just in spite.
He would have worn an eye patch on the sideline, 100%.
I'm saving one specific one probably for the end just because it's too good. Jake, again, kind of going with the uniforms. Western Kentucky has the big red uniforms. I don't know if anybody knows Western Kentucky, but they got big red. I don't even know what he is. What is big red?
It's like it is the equivalent to the Flyers from the NHL. Just an ugly ass mascot. He is ugly.
Just a blob.
But he is extremely marketable. Everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
But he is ugly.
They have the big red uniforms with his eyes like on the helmet. And
I know they gave me nightmares when I saw it. They were also awesome, but they were scary. I would just fold.
Yeah,
like terrifying. Win, forfeit. And then I wish they had. I don't think they have a live one. Even though you have Michigan, who's similar, I've always loved Bucky Badger for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Especially where they have kind of the old school logo of him that they use a lot. I really like that. I like it with their colors. It's really cool in basketball
he's still rocking the turtleneck, very vintage.
Yeah, I love the vintage look of how they do his mascot. You feel like Michigan doesn't really do much with theirs. They stick to their helmets, which are classic. Yeah. But I've always just loved Bucky Badger. And then I did add the Roadrunners as well. I know you really do not like UTSA
I've gotten to a point now to where they just annoy me, and I don't like the Roadrunners. I don't like UTSA.
And that's fair. I get it. And you lived in San Antonio, so you have a little more damage there than I do.
Yeah.
I have always liked the Roadrunner mascot. Everyone knows who it is. It's one of those mascots where you hear it, people know it's UTSA. And when you're that small of a school and you're that marketable, you got a pretty cool mascot.
Rainbow Warriors, Jake, how do you feel about the Rainbow Warriors?
Oh, because it's Hawaii. If it wasn't Hawaii, it would be lame.
Yeah.
But it's Hawaii, so it's perfect. I always wish they would do something cooler with the colors and their uniforms.
Yeah. Yeah, because their colors are great colors, but they also don't incorporate the rainbow aspect at all.
No, or the warrior aspect, really. The H kind of has it a little bit. They look good, but I feel like they could do some really cool alternates that they just don't do. And obviously
I feel like they're a team that could be kind of like Oregon, where they have like so many different varieties of uniform that they just don't ever do.
Also would be a school where if you recruited me, unless I was getting recruited by like an SEC school, I'm going to Hawaii.
How they're a bad football team is beyond me because that's a paradise destination to get a full ride scholarship to.
Yeah, you feel. I mean, I guess maybe parents not wanting their kids to go that far
Yeah.
would be the biggest downside. But it's Hawaii. You get to
Having a-
visit your kid.
Yeah.
And now you have NIL deals. They can help pay for you to go to Hawaii.
Get an NIL deal from American Airlines.
The only thing that would suck is the travel for football games.
Oh yeah, so the travel would suck, but also just like watching your game at like as a family member having to stay up till
they're
midnight.
Always the late and I stay up till midnight. The game starts at midnight.
At midnight,
yeah, and ends at 3. It's great. It just means I watch football from like 11 a.m. to 3 a.m.
and then I watch Sunday morning football on the NFL the next day. All right, Jake. I think it's time we get into it. We've got a little bit of time to mention a couple more. I think this is a controversial mascot. I feel like people hate it or they love it.
Trash.
I'm leaning more so on the trash one, but I did want to bring it up. The Stanford tree.
Trash.
It's a horrible mascot.
It's horrible. The mascot itself is ugly. I don't like the helmets.
I don't get the tree. They're the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So why is it a tree?
Because a cardinal goes into a tree sometimes. I don't know. I've never understood it. I've never thought it's cool. I think it's the worst mascot in all of football. All of football.
It's not cohesive.
It's worse than the New Braunfels Unicorns. It is the worst in all of football.
I think it's worse than Rowdy, the Dallas Cowboys mascot.
Well, he's bad for another reason because he's a curse upon the franchise.
Yeah, why they don't get rid of him, I'll never know. But yeah, no, I'm not a fan of the Stanford tree. I never really.
I thought you put it on here because you liked it. I was about to trash you into oblivion. I'm a little disappointed.
I put it on here because I'm sure somebody will listen to this and have been banging on the table the whole time. The Stanford tree, and we finally got.
Everyone's allowed opinions. Everyone's allowed to be wrong.
Yeah, you can have an opinion. You're also allowed to be wrong at the same time. All right, last and not least, Jake, got to mention it. We went through the whole episode without mentioning it. The Gamecocks. The Gamecocks have got to be top tier, superior S tier mascot.
Also, the way they do their whole football introduction, or come out of the locker room,
their whole thing
is one of the best in another place that is surprisingly high on my list of SEC stadiums to go to. Right up there. I mean, above a lot of places.
I'd almost feel like it has to be a night game.
Oh, it does.
I don't know if I want to go there in a noon game.
No, that's got to be a night game with the LED lights, the full entrance, the fireworks. Obviously, you'll have sandstorm no matter what, but that's up there on my highest places to visit, and I don't think they're going away anytime in football either. Yeah. But that is one of the top mascots because the Cocks.
Nice.
It's funny. Nice. Yeah. And then B, they also do a really good job of it as far as the marketing of it.
They have a live mascot. Again, another thing that I love. And then they also have the costume mascot. But the live cock, Jake, is Sir Big Spur. What? A cock named Big Spur? Sir Big Sir? Sir Big Spur.
I might have to steal that name.
I mean, that's going to be my fantasy football name. And that's incredible.
That's going to be the name of something.
And then, and then the costume mascot is named Cocky the Cock.
They lean into it.
They have
which you have to.
If you don't, what are you doing? If you don't, you're just living. You're not even living. No, you're not living. You're just existing. And so the fact that they do lean into it makes me appreciate South Carolina as a university.
Also, probably the best place to come up with some of the worst college pickup lines when you're in college. Just
can you imagine sending your daughter to that university knowing what she's going to have to
No, because I imagine some college student that's like you, that's there and is just not even going to do it subtle. You're not going to be subtle about it. No. You're just going to be gross.
Yeah, it's gonna be absurd. It's horrible. Yeah.
Luckily, you're the one with daughters.
Yeah.
And I'm not, so I don't have to even think about that yet.
Well, none of them are going to South Carolina or Arizona State. I can tell you that.
Arizona State worse than South Carolina.
by far.
One of my one of the people in my office, her son was talking about going to Arizona State, and I looked at her, I was like, I don't want to do this because bro code, but also, have you looked up anything about Arizona State?
Just look up Arizona State online. That you just Google Arizona State. Your answer will come up eventually.
And that was for her son, but it was just like, I don't want your son to just flunk out of college.
Yeah. Texas Tech also, the Raider Rash. We don't go there. Yeah, we stay away from that. So
no.
All right. Well, that's our football mascot talk for the day. That's going to do it. I hope everybody enjoyed. This was a fun one. Name some of your favorites in the comment section. And if we missed some or you don't agree with our takes on some of the best in college football, this was just football ones. Jake, we need to do another one of these for basketball season come March Madness and go through all of the March.
That might be a whole week. We could do a whole week on just football. Again, this isn't even diving into. I mean, if you add FCS schools,
FCS and NAIA schools, yeah, you're going to get some unique ones. But this was literally FBS.
And there's plenty more that we could have named from FBS.
You want to know what I did? I actually turned on NCAA and I went through the playlist and I just was like looking at them and I was just like, "Oh, that was a fun one. Oh yeah, and it kind of just sparks some memory." So yeah. But all right, that's going to do it. This is your daily fix for all things Texas Longhorns. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, hook 'em.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.